So this is a Buchholz relay. This has two actuators. These two actuators, those are generally the, what you call, mercury bulbs. When the mercury bulbs turns into the other side, it completes a circuit. That's how these two are operating. Now, one is for alarm and one is for tripping. Now, there are two incidents that can happen. Now, if you have very low partial discharges, what happens is, partial discharges makes gases out of transformer oil. So, the gases which are slowly collects into this and actuates the top one, right? Actuates the top one and it gives an alarm. Okay? Now, when the alarm comes, you can see Buchholz relay alarm. Now, what do? You switch off the transformer, get onto the transformer and see whether gas is collected on the Buchholz relay. Right? Then what do? Gas is there. Then I take the lighter from my pocket and open the valve over here. On the top there is a valve. Open the valve over there and put the light on. If it lights up as the gas cooker, right, then you close this thing, and you are not supposed to put the transformer again, right? Remember that if you go through such a this thing, if Buchholz relay has gases and the gases are combustible, if the gases are combustible, you are not supposed to put the transformer again. If you put the transformer, it might be real firework. Buzz. Right? Remember that exactly. Buchholz relay, gas collection, gases are combustible, and if the gases are combustible, yeah. So, you practitioners, even ladies, you can keep a lighter in your pocket to take that. Okay, this is a silica gel breather, and the access of air is from here, and it goes through oil to stop any dust particles and goes through the silica gel and goes on, and when the temperature is low, it breathes in. When the temperature is high, it breathes out. Okay, so that is the silica gel breather, and silica gel, when it's blue, has the capability of absorbing moisture and becomes red. So when it becomes red from bottom to top, what you do is you change the silica gel, right? And sometimes I show lot of people, it becomes red from top to bottom. If it becoming red from top to bottom, then it indicates the top gasket is weak and it breathes from the top gasket. So you have to immediately remove and replace the top gasket. So that is the silica gel breather. And OLTC. So OLTC is on-load tap changer. So main parts of the on-load tap changer is the gear, it's inside the transformer tank, motor mechanism. This diverter switch is on top and tap selector is on the bottom. Right? We'll go back to one of those. I have, I think, yeah, this one. The bottom part is a tap selector, this is the diverter switch. So how it works is, okay, you parallelly close up from one tap to the other. So for a short time, your one tap to the other is closed through a resistor between those two, and then this one is open, completing. So that reduces the arcing. So when there is arcing in the tap changer column, what happens is you deteriorate the oil and makes the gases. So the compartment of the tap changer, if it's separate, you have to replace very often than transformer side. This is again how it is fixed onto the transformer, and oil immerse type looks like this, and vacuum type looks like this, and vacuum contacting of the MR tap changer doesn't make any arcing. It's within a vacuum breaker, like, vacuum closure. So, transformer cooling. Now, we talked about, okay, the pumps to push oil. Now, OF is oil forced and ON is oil natural. AF is oil forced and AN is air natural. So air forced is fans, radiator and fans, right? So if you don't have fans, then it's AN, air natural. So oil natural is ON and OF is oil forced. On oil forced transformers only, you have the forced circulation. So some IC standards here. I think you are getting the what you call the soft copy of this, and you can refer what are the IC standards relevant for each section. And now if you take the first one, electrotechnical vocabulary. So this ACI and all that terminology is coming from IC 50, and to transformers the relevant chapter is 421 on IC 50, 60050, right? And we take this power transformers IC 76.3, that is insulation levels and dielectric tests, right? So dielectric tests are these, right? So insulation level, okay, the BIL, basic insulation, and the tests are given in IC 60073 part 3. So like that, yeah. So transformer bushings and so on, and the next one also, next slide also it continues. Yeah, like this. And look here, 60905 is a loading guide, right? So loading guide here in Sri Lanka, yeah, it's very monotonous. Like, okay, now you can load it and overload it. So normally it's said in situations, if your load is 2/3 of the maximum capacity, for rest of the day, you can overload by 10%. So say this is the loading capacity, and if you are running at 2/3 or the rest of the day, for 1 hour, you can overload this to 10%. So guides like this now, if your hotspot temperature is not going higher than 118 degrees, then you can overload that, right? So there are graphs in other countries. Your ambient, now in our country, our ambient temperature is almost 30 degrees. Almost 30 degrees, and is very monotonous. Now in other countries, when the temperature, ambient temperature goes down, the transformer can be loaded more, right, until the hot spot temperature is met. Now, in the winter, you need heating. So the transformers can be overloaded or loaded when the temperatures are low, right? In the summer, they don't need the heating, right? Then the transformers can be, okay, it goes to 40 degrees. On the day for 40 degrees, okay, they don't normally have air conditioners. Air conditioners are there in, not in homes mostly. If you have the air conditioners are switched on, then it's problem because transformers cannot be loaded with the higher temperatures. So tests are insulation resistance, power angle, and thermographical test, open circuit test, short circuit test, and sound level. And you have done about these things. The short circuit test definitely you have done. With the short circuit test, if you go through maybe second year or third year, I don't know. With the short circuit test, you are determining the percentage impedance of the transformer, or it's called voltage impedance also. Now, open circuit test is putting the voltage to one side and checking the ratio. Then power angle, we'll look at power angle. So when the transformer is energized, your leakage current is here, and it has a certain angle to the vertical direction, right? And if that is phi, the tan phi is called the loss factor. Tan phi is called the loss factor, and phi is called the loss angle. right? So your basics. So component maintenance, okay, these are not very important for you. That is something about maintenance. So insulation resistance, normally over 50 kVA benchmark value is taken as 50 mega ohms. And in ASTM, it says the insulation resistance value R can be kV plus 1. For 132 kV, then it becomes 133 mega ohms, right? And for 33 kV, it becomes 34 mega ohms, like that. So these thermographic pictures of some transformers. This was taken for a transformer when the fans are not on at the same loading level. When the fans are on, it comes to this. That means the temperature of the body is higher when the fans are not on. Now, another picture. Yeah, open circuit test and short circuit test, I am not going to talk further about it because it's your basics. Oil level gauge and Buchholz relay, yeah, these two we have already discussed. And overfilling, you remember this, overfilling may cause bleeding of oil through breather. The oil can come through breather. Yeah, this we have discussed. If the Buchholz relay, collected gas is combustible, what happens? Temperature. Temperature meters are not very common on distribution transformers, but on bigger transformers, temperature meters are there. The oil temperature can go up to about 80 degrees. Top oil temperature can go up to about 80 degrees to 90 degrees. And hot spot temperature, yeah, is around 108 degrees centigrades. Actual value is 118 value. So CB normally specifies 108. Transform oil tests. So transform oil test, oil analysis, dielectric, water content, flash point, surface tension, acidity, loss angle, etc. So gas in oil is also done, and types of oil: mineral oil, silicon based oil, synthetic oil, ester, vegetable oil. So vegetable oil also has been tested, and even Peradeniya campus, they have tested with Polten, right? And successful. Only problem is when the temperatures are low at Peradeniya, like 20 degrees, it tends to, yeah, it becomes a solidified paste. So categories of equipment, here the categories are given. I am not going to talk about all the categories. Now category B is power transformer with a system highest voltage up to 72.5 kV and up to 170 kV. other than those in category A. Category C is power transformers, voltage up to 75, other than the category A again. Oil filled switches, AC, metal enclosed switch gear and control gear and all. Now, with those categories in IEC, IEC 60422 would give you, now take this breakdown voltage and categories O, A, B, C and whatever, and OAB frequency of tests, right, is given in this column, and the values what it should be for each voltage category is given in the other column, right. Now, what is the breakdown voltage test? It's a device, a testing device, which has, so oil is filled here and it has semisphere electrodes, right, to make the voltage field straight, and this has 2.5 millimeter gap, 2.5 millimeter gap, right. So, you raise the voltage until this breakdown. So, that is the breakdown voltage of oil, that is the breakdown voltage test of oil. So, if the values are according to this IEC, that is taken as okay, test passed, right. Properties of insulating oil: high dielectric breakdown, low viscosity and blah blah, right. We will go through because should we finish at 12? When is your next lecture? What time? 1 o'clock? He says we should stop right now. Anybody supporting that? No. Right, we'll go ahead and quickly we'll finish these things. And recommended limits for unused mineral insulating oil is given in this one, and various other tests are given, and the threshold values are given in this sheet on IEC 60422. Preventing the deterioration of the oil due to the fact that deterioration of oil caused generally by oxidation. The method to prevent consists of reduction minimum possible. Its contact surface with air is reduced by silica gel breather and so on. And sometimes a nitrogen layer is used to do that. So, to avoid delay this phenomenon, use additives. You put additives to delay the oxidation. Oil with additives can be selected for your transformers. Generally, oil with additive are not supposed to mix with non-additive oil, but I have mixed. Nothing has happened so far. additives තියෙන transformers වලට non-additive transformer මම දාලා තියෙනවා. So because of that, nothing has happened. But generally it's recommended not to put non-additive transformer oil to additive, the transformer oil with additives. Sound levels according to VDE German standards are given in this list. So with 50 kVA, and now in Germany the problem is okay, they have standards, and even they have standards. If I complain, this transformer annoys me, they have to either remove the transformer legally, they have to remove the transformer, or they have to put a sound attenuation canopy to the transformer. So they normally put a sound attenuation canopy to the transformer if somebody complains. Recovery of oil. Now, online oil purifier in Panapiti transformers, if you have gone there, they have online oil purification, and I don't know if they have seen that. In Biagama transformers, you have online purification. That means, okay, you can program from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the morning. You switch on the purification plant and run it for 2 hours and stop it. Like that, you can program it. So that is done online. And oil purification of other transformers are normally done with separate oil filters. Those separate oil filters are taken from place to place, and transformer is switched off to filter the oil. Gas in oil test. So partial discharges forms H2. If you have partial discharges within the transformer, it forms hydrogen. And high temperatures of oil forms methane, ethane and ethylene, hydrocarbons, right? And internal arcing forms acetylene. So you can test these contents of gases in transformer oil. So aging and heating forms CO and CO2. Now we come to transformer protection. So first of all, we were discussing whether we are going to do only transformer protection in detail. So I told Venera, okay, if I go deep into technical matters and calculations and all, half of the audience is going to sleep. So in my lectures, generally, sleeping is allowed and snoring is allowed. Because when you snore, it keeps the other people awake. Right? So I could see half of this thing, if we have gone deep into theory of transformer protection, you all are going to sleep. So I said, okay, we'll introduce it for you to go ahead with your technical matters to master it. Now these are the 21 and 58, okay, 50 and whatever are the assigned identification numbers for each protection function. Like this 50 is high set overcurrent. So 50N is the high set earth fault. So high set means if you reach that current, it switches off, okay, trips immediately, right? That is a high set. Now, say 51 time overcurrent and 51N is a time earth fault. That means it follows a IDMT curve, inverse curve, right? So, directional load, power swing and whatever, these are only few, right? There is a long list of protection functions for the whole protection systems in the networks. Now, here a transformer is here and protection functions are given here, right? And with this one, 50G and 51G and 87, now these are standby earth fault, 50G and 51G, right? And 87 is differential, right? Make a break a failure and so on. And this is also 87L is differential. Like that, there are so many protection functions marked over here. We'll go to few of protection functions. Overcurrent and earth fault protection. So, each phase of 3 phases, right? CTs, and it goes through elements, protection elements. These are protection elements. And if there is a balance current or a neutral current goes through here, that detects whether there is a earth fault. Yaneva apahu ennati katawa, right? Anyway, now we'll go into the next one. Restricted earth fault is the transformer neutral, there is a CT, and you have gone to CB substations, and there is a earthing transformer. And on the earthing transformer is generally zigzag transformer. Yes. Now this zigzag transformer has an earth. On that earth, have you seen a CT? Yes. So that CT is here. That CT is here. And these are the phase CTs, and you are comparing the vector addition of phase transformers versus the neutral transformer. If there is a difference, that means there is a earth fault in between this zone. From this transformer to those transformers, in between those zones, there is a earth fault. And it would not respond to outside faults. Now, if you have a transformer itself, the transformer tank, there is a fault from phase to transformer tank, right? What happens? If the restricted earth fault is not there, it wouldn't detect because the CTs are there. Now, these CTs would detect the faults onto other side, not within. Now, this is a zonal protection that between the phase current transformers and the neutral transformer. So, that zone is protected by restricted earth fault. Restricted earth fault, again another picture, phase transformers and neutral transformer, and standby earth fault. Standby earth fault detects only the transformer neutral earth. It detects only that, and you can set the values according to the values what you want. So, generally this says In equals I1 to I3. When this is balanced, okay, In is 0. That is your basics. So, differential protection, yeah, is something like that. On the primary side of transformer, you have CTs, and on secondary side of transformer, you have CTs. So, this is also a zonal protection from this CT to that CT. Within that, if there is any fault, right, there will be differences of these elements, and it trips. So, that is differential fault, differential protection. So, percentage based differential protection, and these are a little bit too much of details, and I'm going to skip it, and I'm going to skip this also, the operating characteristic of percentage of voltage, and if you read that carefully, this side is the operating zone and operation zone, and more than this, there is a vast knowledge you have to gain about differential protection. So, this is just introductory, and comparison of two principles, the high impedance differential protection and percentage, that also you can read on. And finally, thermal replica for hotspot temperature. Now, here you have a bushing CT of the transformer. You have a bushing CT of the transformer. And here you are checking the top coil temperature of the transformer. Now, thermal replica is to assess the hotspot temperature, because olden days we didn't have any method of reaching the hotspot for a sensor, right? Because of that, you check the loading by the CT and you get the reading of this temperature and goes into the meter. So, meter has a certain coil which also jacks up the temperature according to the loading. By that, you are assessing the hotspot temperature, right? That is called the thermal replica, and it's no more used. ඕගොල්ලෝ කාලේ වගේ තමයි අපි thermal replica ඉගෙන ගත්තේ. It's no more now. Now, because of the fiber optic technology, so this is a sort of strengthened fiber optic tube, and the sensor goes into, this side is the sensor that goes into the hotspot, and you can directly measure the hotspot temperature. So these are the gadgets of whatever. Now I am showing this in all installations in Sri Lanka. You know, one side is supplied by the transformer, the other side is supplied by the generator, and these breakers are interlocked, right? Now, from here, transformer to the main breaker, somewhere here, right? So, transformer to main breaker, you don't have any protection other than overcut, because at the transformer you have a MCCB or ACB at the transformer. So from there on, the cable comes and the CTs are after the main panel, and you don't have any earth fall protection over there. In all installations, it's like that. Now, if you want to cover the protection from transformer tank to here, then you can use the same three-phase CTs from somewhere here, and also the neutral, can introduce a neutral transformer and have restricted earth fault over there, right? So finally, it's this for you to find solution for that. Again, thank you, you young and fresh minds of the future. Okay, thank you.